Hello, dear friends. I cannot promise that divine will is to preserve the current civilization. Civilization must change, but the question is whether it will be through destruction or through a new construction based on a greater truth, said Sri Aurobindo. Opinion piece, Rebirth, Renewal, Life Change. The 60s are back. Age of Revelation. New higher timeline. No one was prepared. Something huge changed. Nothing will be the same again. Let's start. Poet Talks highlights an artistic and spiritual renaissance or rebirth similar to that of the 1960s, with the arrival of new generations with special abilities. However, this process could be accompanied by chaos and attempts at suppression. This time, the transformation will be different, involving a shift in consciousness that will affect those who seek to control themselves and others, foreshadowing the fall of corrupt structures, symbolized by the implosion of the Tower of Babel. The 60s were the prelude to what is about to happen, an artistic and technological renaissance, unlike anything seen in a long time, is about to begin. Many of the souls that existed at the beginning of the 20th century and during the 60s will reappear. When God wants to bring about change, He assigns specific abilities to future generations. There is always a flourishing of creative genius that accompanies the arrival of a golden age. At the same time, the infrastructure is challenged and plunged into chaos. It also addresses the existence of spells that influence the minds and hearts of the population in order to control them, emphasizing that mastering this magic is the key to freeing oneself from its influence. It mentions that a spiritual force is now emerging that is breaking those spells that once controlled nations and leaders. Recent news. All Geyser assigning blocks have now been executed. On Sunday, November 23rd, joint teams brought down the last chamber of the Vatican Lodge P2 portal beneath the catacombs of Saint Calixtus in Rome, according to JFK Jr. Every fake alien invasion platform, down to the last laboratory, every cloned politician, every altar from Antarctica to the Vatican, has just been marked with the red X. The Yellow Dragon family executed the final injection of ISO 20022 gold-backed tokens, transferring redeemed historical bonds to the QFS Rainbow Coin Network. 3 rogue satellites over the Indian Ocean began transmitting false signals of a lethal solar attack to force global blackouts and blame the sun. The Space Force executed a kinetic strike. The 3 satellites are now burning debris over the Antarctic Ocean. There will be no blackout. Their plan B is dead. The Space Force shot down 3 HARP arrays in Central Australia, programmed to activate the false hologram of the Bluebeam 2.0 Messiah over Jerusalem. On Friday, November 21st, Cardinals of the P2 Lodge in Malta attempted to activate the Bluebeam 2.0 project from their underground cathedral. The false Messiah never materialized. The enemy tried one last cut, a fake magnetic pole reversal along with the release of a zombie virus from Portadown and Wuhan. Combined teams neutralized both installations. The false flag operation is over. Prosperity packages will initiate QFS deposits, eliminating debt slavery and redistributing wealth to the awakened. EBS test zones confirmed billions of people are ready for quantum phones and Tesla-free energy grids after disclosure. On Friday, November 21st, joint operators executed simultaneous incursions into 3 tunnels beneath the Swiss Alps and into the ice fields of Patagonia. Secret jamming towers in northern Italy, built to block QFS synchronization and simulate chaos during the EBS, were taken offline on October 28th. The quantum reset will override legacy systems, pegging currencies to tangible assets and crowning gold as the standard of eternal truth. The Great Awakening will reach its peak, with massive revelations of ritual abuses and election theft triggering a wave of global sovereignty. A new golden age is coming. After the 10 days of darkness, we will reconnect to a new quantum internet, and the old systems of government, education, finance, healthcare, and commerce will disappear. The storm isn't approaching. It's inside the wire. Nothing can stop what's coming. Future. The global financial collapse is no longer just a theory, according to Paul Gold-Eagle. The Black Swan event triggers the first shockwave. A coordinated cyber attack that freezes markets, disrupts banking networks, and exposes the fragility of the old financial system. Then comes the blackout, and people watch as the digital world grinds to a halt. In that silence, the ABS is activated, hidden networks are exposed, and the fiduciary structure collapses. But from the ruins emerges a new framework, the Phoenix Network. In this new reality, only real value survives. Gold and silver retain as legal tender and untouchable currency, and a new class of pure, audited and verified assets emerges. Expansion. According to Paul Gold-Eagle, humankind is entering a historic phase of expanding consciousness, where the veils that separated human beings from the other realities of beings in the universe are fading away. This marks a return to connection with the cosmic family, something intuited and taught by ancient cultures. Planet Earth was quarantined for profound reasons: to protect the evolutionary experiment due to the fall of human consciousness into fear and survival, and to prevent external agendas from vying for control of human destiny, thus allowing for sovereignty and free will. Now that quarantine is ending, because humanity has raised its frequency to receive this cosmic connection without harm, initiating the reconnection with the origins of the soul. An increase in sightings of craft, past life memories, energetic contacts, and a mass awakening are expected, although there will be resistance, denial, and fear from some. Those who are conscious and prepared are called to anchor the truth with courage and calm. Nothing will ever be the same as veils are torn away and the heavens open to reveal the truth. And this is also a call to accept and prepare for a profound transformation of consciousness and reality. Messages. Ashtar 1111 report by Niva Gabriel. As solar activity increases, cells are illuminated, the planet is purified, and electricity is affected. But even if temporary electrical problems should not be seen as an obstacle to our advancement, but as a natural occurrence. According to the High Council of Sirius, as divine light permeates the collective consciousness, those clinging to outdated systems and beliefs are experiencing an awakening that is not a gentle nudge but a vigorous jolt, urging individuals to confront the reality they have long avoided. For some, the revelations that emerge can be very changeling. Something enormous has changed, and no one was prepared. Kerry K reveals a profound shift and a very powerful activation occurring in the energy field, which is the first felt by sensitive souls. This shift is transforming identity, intuition, and how people respond to reality. A new higher timeline is opening and setting individuals, called timeline leaders, are being called upon to step forward and claim this new energy, even if they haven't consciously asked for it. The video the Truman People show is ending explains that the reality we live in has been manipulated, comparing it to a grand show in which people are like extras programmed to act according to a script. This show has kept humankind distracted and controlled through fake news, manipulated events, and negative emotions that fit parasitic entities of consciousness, which feed on human emotional energy. Interesting. Dan Farah claims that Trump almost revealed the existence of extraterrestrials during his first term. The Pleiadians asked Trump to wait to reveal the collision of worlds, not to stop disclosure. A lot has happened since then. I hope he realizes that it's time for the announcement and that people can believe whatever they want. Super soldier Richard Alan Miller discovered files on named missions to Mars in 1968, evidence of the presence of water on the planet, and proof that NASA's official version was a facade. He developed extrasensory perception training protocols that influenced the Navy SEALs, outperformed well-renowned psychics in tournaments, and co-authored the suppressed 1973 article Holographic Concept of Reality. Miller recounts direct encounters with no human intelligence. He claims to have been taken to Area 51 in 1976, where he met a being called Creel, linked to the Roswell incident. His research explored synthetic telepathy, voice-to-skull systems, and electroencephalographic cloning, mind control technologies that use microwaves to transmit voices and emotions. He has given talks on clandestine projects encompassing underground Nazi bases in Antarctica, alien artifacts studied at universities, secret space programs, biological warfare through agriculture, chemtrails, and nanotechnology implants designed to manipulate thought. First contact. Paul Gold-Eagle describes a growing phenomenon of UFO sightings. Covered beings are present around the world, and a massive extraterrestrial contact event is predicted for 2027. In this contact, humanity is expected to communicate with these beings, who will describe how their society functions based on universal laws where everyone collaborates and the concept of buying doesn't exist, as needs are met through replicators. This contact will cause an accelerated collapse of the current control system, which will be replaced by a new paradigm. Furthermore, this contact will begin over large bodies of water, from where the ships will begin to manifest. The text also promotes a vision of hope and imminent transformation, where humanity will overcome traditional limitations and achieve a more harmonious and conscious coexistence with beings from the universe. Breaking news. Geoengineering is no longer just a theory, according to Molly Engelhardt of the Epoch Times. The sky is not a laboratory, it is a life support system. Bowlby says some bondholders are receiving notifications, in quotes, We were waiting for ISO 20022 to be approved and isn't working very well, he says. Volby can't say more due to confidentiality agreements. Extravagant Western talks to end the war in Ukraine exclude the winning of Russia's side, according to Sochafal. Macron rejects Trump's peace plan. According to Benjamin Fulford, Macron is trying to keep the war with Russia alive because he knows his life depends on it. French intelligence sources claim that Macron will be arrested soon. His public arrest would trigger a domino effect and other European leaders would fall in short order. According to Fulford, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Colonel Douglas MacGregor, Candice Owens and others claim to be receiving threats for speaking truth. Fulford has also received more threats than he can count and has survived at least 6 attempts on his life simply for writing the truth. Making public threats is a sign that they are losing their way. Before, people were simply killed, not publicly threatened. Critical phase. Jean Decode speaks of a critical phase of preparations for profound changes. Through covert operations, the activations of protocols to protect humankind, and the revelation of certain hidden truths. These actions are part of a broader plan to confront internal and external threats related to geopolitical issues or hidden conflicts that aren't reported in mainstream media. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.